This video is brought to you by Wondershare.
This is by no means a long-term review that's coming in like a month or two, and it'll be a lot more thorough, but I just gotta say, from my time using this phone, the iPhone 13 Pro Max, and just sort of talking about the iPhone 13 Pro series in general, this is the best phone I have ever used for several reasons. Yeah, I mean, so far this phone has been incredible for work, play, and capture with the camera setup, which I'll talk more about, and I've actually talked quite a bit about, especially in my New York City vlog. Watch that video if you want to see how far you can really push this phone. And speaking of which, the battery life has just been incredible. This phone really never dies on me. It lasts all day and then some, and I'm not making the argument that it's a perfect phone. I don't think we'll ever have a perfect phone, but the 13 Pro series, specifically the 13 Pro Max, kind of pushes that boundary and gets us closer to that asymptote of perfect phone, like I just said. I'm sure a lot of us know a strength with the iPhone has always been software and hardware integration, and this phone is no exception. It's the smoothest iPhone I've used. I think the A15 paired with the 120 Hz display makes for a delicious iOS experience. Everything is super smooth, opening apps, scrolling, all of that. It makes this phone addictive to use, very similar to how I felt with my iPad Pro 2018. And of course, 120 Hz has been around before then, but still, that aspect really makes this device just a go-to for me for a multitude of tasks. And that is an issue because I have trouble putting this down. Okay, but before you think this is some kind of anti-tech video, it's not. I'm not about to sit here and be like, oh, your phone is the root of your problems. The fact of the matter is we're on screens all the time. And I used to think this is a bad thing, but that's just the fact of the matter. People used to read books, newspapers, whatever, and we have all the information and media on these devices. What I'm gonna get at though is you need to be a little more strategic, and I need to be a little more strategic as to what devices I pick up, because it turns out your phone is the perfect distraction. For a reason, I have a theory. I think that iOS apps specifically are designed to just garner so much of your attention because you and we individually are impressions, like views, people viewing something, looking at something. And as you know, in the world of digital marketing, impressions generate money. So when we're on these apps like Reddit and TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, whatever, our viewership is necessary for these companies to get data and to get our eyes on their products. So it's not that just boils down everything, but that's a big reason why I think these apps are designed to just hook you in, and your phone, which runs these apps in the most convenient, pocketable way, is again the perfect distraction to sort of just fall into the rabbit hole of distraction. And as a sort of kind of probably ADHD person on the spectrum, I don't want to self-diagnose, yeah, I found that this can really screw up my day, even though again it's a beautiful, wonderful device that I still want to keep in my pocket and use quite a bit. But before we continue here, I have a message from the people that made this video possible, Wondershare and their Repair It software.
As a full-time content creator and student, two things can go very wrong with my workflow. Files and/or video content can get jacked up and totally mess up whatever project I'm trying to publish or turn in. But with Repair It, I can, for example, fix a corrupted Excel file for my finance class. All I have to do is select the type of repair I want to occur, drag and drop the file into the window or browse finder to find it, click repair, and voila. You can then preview or save the file so you can move on with your life and what you're working on. You can also repair corrupted video files the same way. Super helpful in a pinch with school work and work in my case.
I'll leave a link in the video description if you're interested. So how do we mitigate smartphone distraction? Well, first up, I will say, again, this is not about using technology less. I am gonna make the argument again that we need to, in this day and age, to consume, to work, to play, whatever. But I find sort of resorting to other devices will keep you more on task or being productive. For example, using the iPad Pro, I can use it for note-taking, for research, for sketching and drawing for my thumbnails and other things. I find this form factor a lot less distracting because sure, you can, go on YouTube and sure, you can watch movies and TV shows, but in a world of short form, content, instant gratification, it's harder to get it here compared to this, where you can just sit and scroll and scroll and scroll. And also too, real quick, kind of talking about the competencies of the iPhone, the display on here is super bright, arguably better than the one on my 11-inch. in ways worse than the 12.9 inches mini LED display, but still brighter overall. It sustains about, I think, like 1,000 nits of brightness. It's crazy. So this display is perfect for consumption once again, but you know, a device like an iPad Pro or MacBook Pro inclines you to just get to work a little more. And also too, as I've said, this thing is pocketable. You can't just put your iPad Pro in your pocket. You gotta put it in a bag or a backpack. This just fits in your pocket and you can bring the distraction wherever you go. Another device that I resort to a lot for work is my MacBook Pro 16-inch for a number of reasons. Number one, it's just so big. We have this gorgeous 16-inch display that is great for multitasking with, especially on the go. So I can do a lot of like document typing, research, presentation creation for school, and also of course my YouTube work. And when I have it plugged into a monitor, obviously I can get to work on my video editing and such. And yeah, I mean, like, they're different devices and you shouldn't really be doing a bunch of video editing on your iPhone. But what I'm saying is if I'm going to be using a device to answer my email, to do some research, sure, I could do it on here, but again, I am susceptible for falling into the social media trap. And I say this not in like a blaming the phone kind of way. I mean, you should blame yourself. This is ultimately your fault if you do this, right? It's a mind over matter thing, but part of being accountable for your time and efficiency and productivity is understanding which devices, again, suit you better in certain situations. And in most work situations, I will say this is my device. So, you know, obviously I need a video edit on here, that's a given, but when it comes to email writing, document writing, planning, whatever, even Notion sometimes, and I plan on making a video about that as well and how it literally saves my life. I do it on here. I like to do it on here. And of course, more specialized tasks with the Apple Pencil, with my iPad Pro. And then when it comes time to, you know, have a little more fun, then I whip out my phone and I try to keep it separated because I find when I have my phone out in situations where I really shouldn't, I am so much slower. I mean, like, even tasks like pouring a glass of water or making a sandwich, you know, are multiplied by 2 because I'm just sitting here going like, look, it's funny. And then, yeah, and that sort of goes back to me being a more naturally kind of jumbled person. Like, I literally just will leave my phone in the other room so I can just go about my day, because if I don't, I will sit here and just continue to consume and consume and consume. And again, my point is this phone is perfect for that because the display is just gorgeous. The battery lasts. I mean, like, I never have this phone die, like I said, and if I do, it's because I'm on my phone for way too much. I look at my screen time and I cry. So yeah, I like love this phone so much that we need like time apart, you know, like I gotta like put it in the other room to make sure that I can go about my day. And yeah. So again, I'm not making the argument that you should use tech less. I mean, of course you should have a day where you're one with reality and you don't have blue light shining into your eyes. But my point is if you want to be productive, and this is what I've found as a very distracted, jumbled person, choosing the right device more often will lead you to being more productive. You know, it'll lead you to not waste hours and hours and hours on social media, and it gets to the best of us. Not that I'm any close to the best, but yeah, again, my point is these phones have gotten so good that it's very easy to get sucked into that. And you have to remember, you know, you are personally responsible for your actions, but you know, if the sort of substance is that good, and I would argue that your phone is a bit of a digital substance, yeah, it's hard to let it go. It's hard to put it down. So you have to sort of force yourself to and enjoy Apple's other devices, in my case, that sort of push me to do better things with my time. And that is all the time that I have. I feel like this whole video has been a stream of consciousness, but hopefully you've enjoyed it. Once again, check out my link to Wondershare in the description. And that's about it. I have another video coming soon, and I appreciate y'all being patient. I am in school. I am just chugging along, just working to get my piece of paper, if you know what I mean. So that is where I'm at. I'm excited to see what Apple may or may not be coming out with very soon, so stay tuned for that. And as always, I'm Noah, and I will catch you all in the next one.